So I'm here today with my good friend Suffix, and we're talking about a really important topic. How do you fight against corruption? How does all of society come together on this campaign? Suffix, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So I've been watching your video of your song Mutani, and I've been struck with how powerful it is. Where did you get the idea and the motivation to do this song?
Yeah, I think we are living in a world where honesty is not compensated. And as an artist, I wanted to use my platform to be a voice to the voiceless and just address what's happening on the ground, in terms of how public resources are being abused at the expense of the poor. So hence the song Mutani.
So how does corruption affect a society?
In so many ways. I would say when you take away what's meant for the public, you're destroying schools, you're destroying the health sector, and unemployment comes, theft will come after poverty. So it's really huge. It's a huge negative impact on the society. So that's why I had to address it.
Well, let's watch a little bit of Mutani, because I think it really inspires us to why change. What can you do about it?
Exactly.
Is really important.
Alibetola di mukaile Jibase chege tijisaine Lembe aka signe Enano muona kuti muta Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Muona kuti muta Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Muona mubanga bwani Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Muona mubanga bwani Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Alibetola di mukaile Holiday kataga pena Emirates Mafana fizi mapay and the government Hagudelela ndani timu taime Anyamata kusoka funa violence Malinko yipula tikugaile Ifendi mapiko siwa timing Seko ya tusima takuvutika kusunzika Siti malemegeza maluzo lodonto Ndifazi pyoro, mafano bonta Kwa jela nsonko, muka uzani Kaya muzika uzana jani zanu Goma muka uzani kuti muona mutoro Yeah, mutoro In the big boys games, I say Mafana sangazi.
So watching Mutani, I'm really inspired by how you capture the people who get left out while the insiders are playing the game and rolling in the dough and just enjoying life at the expense of the poor.
Yep.
Is that what you tried to convey in Mutani?
Exactly. It's a circle. So the guys who are abusing the public resources are telling the poor that we shall see when your time comes if you are not going to do exactly what we're doing here. So it's like no one is perfect. You can't be judging us when you're gonna do the exact same thing when you're here in power. So that's exactly what I'm addressing in the video.
You know, it reminds me when we had our conversation just a little bit ago with Martha Chizuma, who's leading this fight against corruption at the Anti-Corruption Bureau.
We have to make integrity cool. We have to make it okay for young kids because they want instant. This generation wants instant this. But you have to say, no. There has to be some hard work and make work cool.
Oh, yeah.
And also they need to be grounded in doing right, because doing right is right. And they need to understand that the little crumbs that they give them is just a mere fraction of what they're entitled to. Because the youths again are exploited. Of course. Because there's high unemployment out there. Yes. Unemployment that to an extent has been caused by corruption. Of course.
Listening to Martha, I really like how she said we need to make integrity cool. Because we need people to realize doing the right thing is cool. It's the good thing to do. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a really powerful point. as I mentioned, I feel like we are living in a world where honesty is not compensated. Everyone is like, I'm not gonna eat integrity. So how about this, bribe, and also from, coming from my fellow youths, there's this pressure on social media, the obsession of trying to get rich quick, without putting in work, without being patient. With that, there's you indulge yourself in, you get yourself into debt, and that pressures you to even be involved in bribes, corruption, because you wanna sort yourself out real quick. So making integrity cool is I think should be a new movement. We really need to make integrity cool and ready to fight for it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Alibetola di mukaile Jibase chege dijisaine Lembe aka kanga kasidne Ena numuona kuti muta Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Muona kuti muta Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Muona mubanga bani Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Muona mubanga bani Eya muta Eya muta Eya muta Alibetola di mukaile.
Everybody needs to do their part to fight against corruption.
Yep.
Because it's going to take a change of attitudes. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, I think patriotism is also important. We need to start loving our country. Yeah, honestly, you need to learn to love your country. You need to learn to appreciate everyone around you. In that way, I think it'll be easy for you to avoid doing shortcuts. Because for sure, whenever you indulge yourself in corruption, you're taking away a lot from the poor. You're taking away a lot from, you're taking away drugs from the hospital. You're taking away school for your children's children. And so I think that's one thing that needs to be done.
When we are talking about corruption, we are talking about taking public goods, taking public resources for private use. So very few people are enjoying the public goods. And when people are stealing the money, defrauding the government, what they're doing is that they're taking away the hospitals, they're taking away the schools, they are taking away the jobs. And the ones who suffer more from that are the youth. Because by the very fact that they're the youth, they've got a long haul to enjoy those goods. And when they're taken away, it means they've got a long haul suffering the deprivation of those goods. And also secondly, the fact that the youth are the ones that are, in this country, we're talking about Malawi, there are many of them. So it means that it's more people that are going to suffer because of the corruption that is being perpetrated by very few. So it's a matter that the youth have to embrace and position themselves in such a way that they speak out, but also organize themselves in such a way that they take action in correcting this wrong. And as I think, as a bureau, and as I've said, as I think Suffix has said, he speaks to the youth. He knows the language the youth would want to hear. If we just put our information in a raw form, of the children go like,
Oh yeah.
boring. But we need to cooperate with people like him, tell them what we want to pass out there, and then they'll find ways of putting that message to them, to the young people, in such a way that they'll be interested to listen and want to take action.
So this conversation has really hit me hard about how the fight against corruption is one of Malawi's most important fights.
Yep.
And I really appreciate that you and other youth are raising concerns about how we engage in this fight, and that everybody needs to participate in it. So,
Exactly.
you know, Martha really highlights that the people in government who work in all the different agencies that are fighting corruption, it needs to be a coordinated effort of everybody to say, no, integrity is cool, corruption is not.
Exactly. Yeah, we all have a role to play, from artists who have a platform, you know, everyone. We all have a role to play because it's a fight that's going to take a long, long time, but it's worth the fight.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I think I'm loving it. That phrase or quote, making integrity cool, is really cool.
So you heard it here. Make integrity cool. Fight against corruption. Help build Malawi up. Thanks for joining us.